Hey, what's up, dude? Staxers here, and welcome to NHL 19. We're doing our first ever NHL 19 franchise series, and I was debating about this for a little bit. I felt like doing the Montreal Canadiens a couple weeks ago for my first NHL 19 franchise mode sim series, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Vancouver Canucks again because I feel like the Vancouver Canucks was a pretty popular series for my NHL 18 uploads, and I just want to continue with the Vancouver Canucks pretty much. I am pretty familiar with the team. It's not my favorite team, but I live fairly close to Vancouver. I live in British Columbia, so I know quite a bit about Vancouver, and I know quite a bit about its history too. But anyways, yeah, other than that, maybe in the future I'll do a Montreal Canadiens franchise mode series, but for now we're gonna do the Vancouver Canucks, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Alright, dude, so look at the new settings here. We got owner mode as per usual. We got fantasy draft, but we're not gonna use that in this series here. We got our NHL salary cap. We're gonna keep that on. GM firing, I think we're gonna take it off. I want to stay as a Vancouver GM regardless of if I rebuild or not. Computer trades will keep on. Player morale will keep on. Morale meetings, we're gonna turn that one off. We don't need that one on. And then we are also gonna keep on the new setting for franchise mode, and that is Fog of War here. So as you can see, when on, Fog of War hides the attributes of NHL and AHL players. So this is all players from even different teams and whatnot. To reveal these attributes, you must scout the players. So scouting is going to be a really big major issue here in franchise mode, so we're going to have to work with that quite a bit. So then assistant coach edit lines, I'm not going to need that. Auto finances, I don't think we need any of these on since we'll turn off owner mode actually. And now all we have is NHL salary cap, player morale, computer trades, and Fog of War pretty much. So we're going to continue now. Now I want to treat this franchise mode as realistic as I possibly can, so we're going to set a couple rules here. Maybe we're only allowed making major trades once in a while or something like that, or maybe we're only allowed 3 trades per year, and you know, stuff along the lines of that. I don't want to make anything like too in-game and non-serious and whatnot. So we're going to go into the settings here. We're also going to switch the gameplay sliders. I know injury occurrence was a major issue in the previous franchise modes, so we're going to make sure that's down to about at least 15 and keep it a little more realistic rather than players getting injured here and there, and it's quite the hassle of replacing those players also. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Quick settings. Going to here, so period length, we're going to switch it up to 20 minutes. Injuries on, of course. Difficulty superstar. You see, this stuff doesn't, I don't know if this stuff really matters, but I like to switch it anyways. Fog of War on. Alrighty, so other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, no. Playable, yeah, keep them to playable. I prefer it on that. Retired jerseys on. Okay, alrighty Vancouver, are we ready for this franchise mode series to start? I think I am. So I just like to mention too, while this is loading, I will be gone for a bit. I'm going to be going back to camp for a little bit, and it's just kind of my regular job at the moment. I won't have any internet, so I won't be able to make any other uploads. So if I just like randomly disappear, it's just because I'm at my job. So I'll be back, and I'll be making more of these uploads definitely when I get back, because I feel like the camp is about to shut down anyways soon here, which means I'm going to have a lot more time to make these uploads and whatnot. Pretty excited about it. But here we are, new to franchise mode. Welcome to franchise mode. Our all new scouting system allows for more control than ever before. Recruit, hire, and fire a staff of pro and amateur scouts for your franchise. Scout individual players to unveil attributes and other information to build the best organization in the NHL. So franchise mode is really basing it off like the franchise. Your players got to be alike in personal ways, and they got to be similar on the ice and everything in order for the team to turn out. So scouting accuracy. Scouting accuracy ranges from accurate to unknown. The more times you scout a player, the scouting icon will increase in brightness and fill more bars. The more bars and brighter the icon is, the more accurate information you have. Scouting accuracy applies to both professional and amateur player attributes. Okay, that's pretty decent. So Fog of War. Fog of War masks a player's ratings, attributes, and other information. You will no longer have accurate information at all times. You will need to assign scouts to evaluate players and teams throughout the season to maintain the most up-to-date information. So it's pretty straightforward, you guys. I mean, we've been waiting for this Fog of War franchise mode for quite a while now. It's finally here, and I'm ready to jump into it. So, when to assign a scout. When you see a player with inaccurate information, you will want to send a scout to evaluate that player. To do this, you must press the triangle button on the player card or send out scouts from the assigned scout screen to scout specific players, teams, or regions. Okay, cool. Wait, is that it? Is that it? Are we starting now? Are we in franchise mode? Somebody pinch me. Oh my god. This is actually happening. So, we are in franchise mode now. It looks fairly similar to NHL 18, although it's quite a bit darker. I'll give you that. Assign scout. So do I get to try this out right away? Assign scout. So Gunnarsson. He's in the Liga region, the AHL. Okay. I'm a little anxious. I'm really anxious at the moment. And really curious on what I'm supposed to do at the moment. Let's look at the lines first. I don't want to jump into this too quick. So, no, we don't need assistant coach. Sven Baertschi's an 82 overall. He is medium top 6 potential. Bo Horvat, medium top 6 potential. He's 85 overall. We got Brock Besser, who was also an 85 overall, but he's medium elite. Nikolai Goldobin, he's medium top 9 potential. That's a little different. I mean, last year he was medium top 6, but we'll keep it at that. We got Sam Gagner, top 9 potential. Louis Eriksson, top 6 potential. So it's kind of weird not seeing the Sedins in the lineup here. Of course, they retired, so that's bound to happen, I guess. So Antoine Roussel, top 9. Jay Beagle, top 9, I imagine. We got Jake Vertanen, he's a top 9 potential. So a former first round pick. He's now no longer considered a first round pick, really. I mean, he's 6 overall, and he's only set to be a top 9 player now. It's a little bit of a, I don't know, did they undervalue him in this, or am I wrong or something? Anyways, Brendan Gaunce, he's medium bottom 6. Brandon Sutter, top 9. And then we got Brendan Leipzig, who is top 9, low top 9 potential. Who do we got scratched at the moment? We got Tyler Mott, Marcus Granlund, and Tim Shaler. Marcus Granlund, a medium top 9. Okay, so defensively we got Edler, Tanev, Derek Pouliot, Ben Hutton, Michael Delzato, and Troy Stetcher, all on the blue line here. So looking fairly decent. I think we'll keep it like that. Not too much we want to change. Jacob Markstrom and Anders Nilsson. I think I'm going to want to switch out Anders Nilsson. I think so. Let's go to roster moves. We're going to switch Anders Nilsson, who's 79 overall at the moment, with Thatcher Demko. I think Thatcher Demko does deserve the ice time now. Confirm. Let's edit our lines now. Yeah, we want to give Thatcher Demko the ice time now as a backup goaltender, and that way he gains some idea of how the NHL is. and he can grow into that medium elite goaltender that we so desperately need at the moment. Not that Markstrom isn't good. Markstrom's a good goaltender, I'll give him that. So there he is, Elias Pettersson, our medium elite potential centerman. Is he actually ready for some depth? Yeah, he's a depth forward. He can be used down here though for the most part of the year, and then we can like swap him up here. Here's another centerman. Let's switch him with Tanner Kiro. So then we have Goodbranson, Biega, Bulias, McEnemy, William Brisbois, who is low top 6, kind of the same one. He has the same settings or overall attributes as the last one. And then we got Ole Jolevi, who he's a medium elite. He was picked in the, let's see, when was he drafted? 5th overall in the 2016 draft. We're going to play him on the side that he's supposed to play on. And that way he's growing properly, I guess. Extra attacker Elias Pettersson. Who's scratched down here at the moment? Anyone big? Cole Lynn, low top 6. Jonathan Dallin, medium top 6. So we're going to want to get those guys in, definitely. Switch him out with Dallin. And then let's switch out, we're medium top 9. HL, let's put him over here. Switch out this guy with Colin. And then, who else is scratched at the moment? I know he was in low top 9. He's still a low top 9 this year, so. Yeah, a lot of these overalls are practically the same, pretty much. Not too much difference. We do want to grow Elias Pettersson before we decide to bring him up. Granlund, I think we'd want to put him in over Gauntz, maybe. Yeah, let's put him in over Gauntz. And let's use him as a centerman. Like, his face-off is... How are his face-offs? He has 80 overall face-offs, sorry. 73 overall face-offs. Maybe if we use Marcus Granlund as a winger this year. Jake Virtanen, I imagine he can be used as... He can be slotted in on the 3rd line, Jake Virtanen, for now. Yeah, he can be slotted in there with Antoine Roussel and Jay Beagle. See how well he does up there. And then we all have Nikolai Goldobin, age 22. How did he do last year? Like, he had 14 points and was a minus 14 in 38 games played. Yikes, that's not too good. How about him? So he had 20 points and was a minus 11 in 75 games played. I think we used Jake Virtanen up here for some reason. I mean, 1st overall, well, not 1st overall, 6th overall in the 1st round. I think Jake Virtanen does deserve the ice time. And in my opinion, I feel like this is going to be a rebuilding year. It definitely looks like it's going to be a rebuilding year. Special teams, Besser, Horvat, Berchi, Hutton, Tanner, and then Pouliot with Alexander Edler there. We have Sam Gagner with Louis Eriksson and Nikolai Goldobin. I don't mind that. Penalty kill. Let's put these guys like that. Ben Hutton like that. Horvat, Granlund, Beagle, Sutter. So we got a bunch of... How's his face-offs? His face-offs are 85. Wow. Okay, I think he definitely deserves to be in there over Sutter. And then Horvat, 82. Yeah, let's switch these guys. Alrighty, I think my lineups are pretty good now. Alrighty, now we can look at the scouting idea that they have here. So, who is this? Beaulieu, Find prospects, scout specific players. So you can switch between these two, I guess. Holy cow. Okay, so we don't have too much to spend on scouts at the moment. The best we can do is like switch these around pretty much. Or fire someone and then rehire, but at the moment I don't think I really want to play around with this just yet. I mean, I want to get an idea of how this all works first before I get too major into that. So let's get an idea. I guess we'll start some simulating here pretty quick, because we've already switched up the lines and got an idea of what we're going to be using here. Okay, so now that I got all the lines set up, we're just going to go ahead and get right into the simulation here. I mean, I don't think there's much else to do. I actually don't really know how the whole scouting thing works, so if you happen to drop by this upload, do leave a comment telling me how I should be using the scouting thing here. But until then, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna simulate at least up to the trade deadline there. That's where I'll probably leave it at, and I'll leave it up to you guys who we trade for and who we trade off, and if we're a rebuilding team or if we're actually a contender. So it all depends on the simulation here, so it's going to be quite the process, but we're going to go ahead and get through it. So with the new fog of war setting on, I imagine that, well, I mean, I don't think we got to scout any of our players. I think all their attributes are pretty straightforward for the players that are currently on the team now. I think it's just players that are not on the team we got to scout, so I don't think preseason is as important just yet as it would be if I wanted to figure out like overalls for certain players that I don't know of, I guess. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna simulate up to the regular season. So the salary cap, that's pretty straightforward. Now the main goal for this season is not to make the playoffs, because look at the team right now, it doesn't look exactly like this is a playoff contending team just yet. I mean, they could squeak in, that's the kind of team this is at the moment. But yeah, you never really know with these kind of teams. So it's all depending on how this first line does. Like, can this line of Sven Baertschi, Bo Horvat, and Brock Besser carry this team to the playoffs there? And how will this second line do? Where is there? So plus minus, this line's doing fairly decent. I don't really want to switch anything, to be honest. -2, -5. So my guess is that this team is going to be a rebuilding team this year. So it definitely looks like that from the lineup and how we did in the preseason there. Okay, let's just keep on going. So the chemistry doesn't seem to be that good in the locker room. 66% locker room chemistry, that's not too good. We're gonna go ahead and simulate this first game here. It is a home game, our first game, so we're gonna kind of slow simulate it period by period. So we're gonna go ahead and, wow, so actually Nikolai Goldobin scored right off the bat there. About 20 seconds in, not even, Nikolai Goldobin scores on Mike Smith. It's a 1-0 game for Vancouver in Vancouver. Second period. So we got a tie game now. Brendan Leipzig from the fourth line puts a goal into the back of the net. And then Michael Stone beats Thatcher Demko, while also Elias Lindholm will beat Thatcher Demko. So third period. And Vancouver looks to come out on top somehow, through the grit and everything. This rivalry matchup comes to an end. Louis Eriksson has scored. Beagle scores, and then Michael Frolik puts them up by 3. But that's definitely not enough to stop the Vancouver Canucks. 3 stars, so Jay Beagle, Michael Frolik, and Nikolai Goldobin are the 3 stars of the game. Goldobin, he had the first goal in the first 20 seconds, while Beagle managed to get 2 points. Congrats to those guys. Cool, so the first game is over and done with. Vancouver It was a successful game. The third line came in pretty clutch there. We're going to go ahead and we're going to continue simulating. Now, the next game is against Calgary again, the rivalry team. But it's in Calgary, so I'm not going to do any form of slow simulation there. We are going to go all the way to November 1st and see what this team can do. So, a loss against Calgary, shootout loss, and then we lose in Carolina. Another loss against Tampa Bay, another loss against Florida, so we're not looking too good this year. I mean, not too good. Central Scouting has released the latest set of draft rankings. So we're actually going to view this quickly. Let's go ahead and go into this. And we got a franchise sentiment, a possible franchise sentiment. Wow. So would mesh well in any locker room, has a very well-rounded personality. His shooting, he has a 200-foot game, offensive creativity, and playmaking ability. So this guy's more of a playmaker here. He's a center playmaker is what it looks like. His weaknesses is teammate utilization and reach. So he's not like the tallest characters, but he's fairly fast and he's open-minded when it comes to the offensive side of things. So we're gonna keep an eye on this guy, Warren Baldwin. So let's scout player. I'm gonna scout his attributes, strengths and playing style. So there you go. We got a scout on him at the moment now. Let's hope we get the exact potential of this guy. Bowen, you know, we're pinned to watch list. This is a Vancouver-born player, it looks like. Well, yeah, at least he plays for the Vancouver Giants now. So I mean, like, if we do end up drafting this dude, he'll be a Vancouver-born, or Vancouver. He'll already be in Vancouver, so he'll be ready to play, you know what I mean? Ready to go. Kootenay Ice, Saskatoon Blades, Kapu Kako. Oh, by the way, I forgot to add Jack Hughes, and I apologize, he will not be in this series. But looks like we might have someone of a different sentiment be that in that position pretty much. Considering this guy's almost basically a franchise potential player. I mean, it's not the exact rating, but so far it looks like a franchise player. Anyway, so we're going to go back into this. We're now 2-4 or 2-5-1. We lose against Boston. We lose against the Capitals. And then we get 2 wins there against Las Vegas and Arizona. Then the losing streak continues. So we're 5-8-1 through the first month of October there. And at this point, I'm thinking, I mean, if Louis Eriksson is leading the scoring on this team, that's not too good of a sign, but that's kind of the thing. So 15 minutes. I like this. I like how this looks. Like, look at this. It even shows the time on ice per game, and I feel like these are the most important things that you should be showing right off the bat when you look at these characters. So time on ice and what they're producing and so forth, their plus minus. That way, if they're not doing too good, you can reduce their ice time, and maybe that plus minus will go up, or maybe that will demoralize them and the plus minus would go down, I guess. But so far we're looking pretty decent. I just realized Brendan Leipzig's a third checking line forward, so he's a -3 and he has, let's see, so 5 points. Whereas he only has 4 points. We're going to switch him with Anton Roussel. And then I'm going to keep everything else the same pretty much. Defensively, we're looking pretty decent, I guess. -2, -6 for Derek Pouliot, but that's kind of a given. But he is medium top 4, so I really do want to keep him in that position so that he can have a chance to grow there. Okay, so I'm just going to look at the scouting chart quickly here again. It looks like we got quite a bit of elite potential players in there. It's not the exact potentials just yet, so I guess these are the type of players we're gonna want to look out for though. So there's one from the OHL. Here's one from the WHL. Robertson. Nolan Foote, he's from the WHL, but he's American. What else is there? Arthur Kaliev, he's medium elite. Thomas Lejunin, a Swiss centerman there. Let's see, so OHL Victor Hadfield. We got Bradley DiPietro. Stu Gorin. That's looking pretty decent. Matthew Hill, Sven Swordstrom. This guy's a medium-high elite. Now, this is a OHL, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go look at our scouts at the moment. We're going to get someone on the OHL. Definitely want to look at those guys. So, OHL. Right here, OHL. Find prospects. Early first round. Let's switch it to... Let's do 6 weeks. Confirm assignment. There you go. So there's the OHL where we're going to be looking for some OHL steals there. Or hopeful steals at least. And that's my first ever scouting assignment, so that's pretty decent. I'm pretty excited. Okay, so let's continue the simulation. Let's get November done and through. So let's simulate up to the 1st of December. Yeah, the 1st of December. Let's go ahead and simulate up to there. So a win in Colorado, a 5-2 win, followed by a 4-1 loss in Detroit, a 5-3 loss against the big old bad Boston Bruins, a 3-1 win against Buffalo, and then a 3-2 loss against New York Rangers. Montreal is placing Charlie Lindgren on waivers. Would you like to claim him? Wow. Medium fringe starter. He's a backup goalie. I'm claiming him. I'm going to claim him. Because this guy is potential trade bait. So, to Los Angeles, around 3, around 4. Alex Biega. And then to Vancouver, we would get a 2nd round pick and a 5th round pick. In return, do I decline or do I actually accept this? Interesting trade. I think we need Alex Biega down in the AHL just to fill one of the spots, so I think, or is he scratched at the moment? 2nd and 5th, 3rd and 4th. Okay, we'll go back to that. We're gonna check that quickly just to make sure he's not just scratched up here, because if he's just scratched up here, then we can definitely ship him off to Los Angeles there. I don't see why not. Scratched. So no, he's not scratched at the moment. We are using him in the AHL to fill a position. Alex Biega right there. Don't really have anyone else to fill that position too, so yeah, we're gonna keep it like that. Look at that, Elias Pettersson, he has 21 points in 16 game plays. That's pretty insane. He's 78 overall, he's a depth forward. His deking is really good. Like, that's amazing deking. So there you have it, Canucks have claimed Charlie Lindgren off of the waiver wire. Yep, that's a thing, that just happened. Are we gonna actually put him in? I think it's probably a good idea to put him in over Bachman here, so we're gonna go ahead and put Lindgren in. And who's scratched at the moment? What other goalie? Ivan Kulabakov. He's age 22. He's only set to be an AHL starter, and that's a low chance he even becomes that, so we're not too worried about his growth or anything like that. So Lindgren and Nelson backing up the Utitsa comments. What a beauty duo. Anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna finish off this simulation as best as we can. So we're gonna go ahead and simulate up to Dallas here. Brock Besser has been injured. Of all people, Brock Besser is gonna get injured. So if it's not obvious now, I think we're definitely a rebuilding team. So we're gonna put Tyler Mott in. We're not gonna substitute him over everything. I'll just be back quickly here. Okay, so we're back, and I made some minor adjustments. Oh well, Brock Besser's back, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Alrighty, now let's just hope that doesn't happen again to Brock Besser. I mean, it seems like when players get injured for me, they tend to continue getting injured. It's a little bit annoying, but I mean, you know, you get through it, I guess. So I guess we gotta look at the draft class quickly. So we'll stop here in, or I guess we'll not stop in Winnipeg or Anaheim for that matter. We'll stop here in LA. So we're in Los Angeles now. We're on a really long road trip because we continue to lose and we continue to show signs of a rebuild. Let's look at the draft class here. See who we got available. So Warren Baldwin, he's from the USA, and currently he has 21 games played, and he has more than double, almost more than double the points than the games he has played. So he almost has 40 points. He has 39 points in 21 games played. He has 21 minutes and 14 seconds of time on ice per game, and he's at plus 16 at the moment. Currently he's set to be a potential of a medium franchise player. This guy's going to be a really good player, I think. But we got to start looking at guys like this. So we also got Alexander Burmistrov. Wait a minute. Alexander Burmistrov, isn't that... Okay, I've seen that name before. Though obviously we're using that name. This guy's age 17. He's a Russian playmaker. Or a Russian sniper, sorry. He's deemed a sniper, but he only has 1 goal and 5 assists in 21 games played. So he's not exactly like a point getter, and nor is he more of like any type of like a two-way forward, because plus minus is only 1 at the moment. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that guy. Arthur Wingles, 21 games played. He has 6 goals, 21 assists. So this guy looks like he's gonna be an elite player, in my opinion. He's neither here or there. Can struggle with the desire to win, but keeps in emotions in check. Wow, he has similarities on Marcus Naslin. That's pretty exciting. We got Matt Peteny, 6 goals, 14 assists. So this guy's doing pretty decent where he's playing. Ryan Suzuki, we don't have too much on him exactly. He does have quite a bit of points in the games that he's played. A good leader, is respected in the locker room, and is very loyal. That's good to hear. Good to hear. Fedorov, Robertson, who's still considered an elite player. Yeah. Okay, that's looking pretty decent so far. So as much as I want to see like Brock Besser be like the lead in scoring at this point, he has been injured for the most part of the season, so Bo Horvat has had to step up there a little bit in the point scoring. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing for his development, and let's hope he turns into that first line center, because we're gonna need it fairly soon here, I think. But other than that, who else has made progress? I mean, Jake Vertan, he's a -3 at the moment. He's been doing fairly decent. Nikolai Godolbin, though, he's a +1. He has about 14 points in 25 games played. That's really good for Nikolai Godolbin and his growth there. We have Brendan Leipzig there stepping up onto the 3rd line, so hopefully we can get some growth out of him also. Defensively, Ben Hutton's a -1 currently. Derek Pula, he's a -8. He's been holding his his own there, I guess. Troy Stetcher's a +2, so that's pretty good. There's Michael Delzato, who's a -1. Okay, looking good so far, but I think we're definitely a rebuilding team this year. I mean, we're 8-13-4 at the moment. I mean, they could turn the season around, but no, I feel like that's almost unlikely. I don't know why. Let's go ahead and go up to the 1st of December there. We're probably gonna have to switch around the AHL team a little bit, but they seem to be doing fairly decent so far, so maybe we won't play around with that just yet. Yeah, we're gonna switch around the 4th line there. We're gonna give some different members a chance here. Let's see. So I want to keep Goldobin in. Granlund, Sutter. So Antoine Roussel's not doing exactly as good as I would like him to be doing. Granlund, 25 years old. Let's switch Antoine Roussel out actually here. Let's put in. Should we try Gons or Talamon? He might be ready for that role there. Let's try him on the right or the left side there. Keep Granlund on the right side. For now, just for now. Let's try that out for a little bit. Might as well. I mean, we are 9-15-4. We don't want to be doing too bad, but I mean, if we are rebuilding, I guess doesn't really matter too much at the moment. We want to get a good pick also. So let's simulate up to the 1st of January there. So a 6-2 loss now. A 5-1 loss against Minnesota. Yeah, let's check this out. Might as well. Second line's doing not bad, and the 3rd line's not doing that good at the moment. We might have to switch Marcus Granlund. Put him up a line. Yeah, might as well. Let's put him up a line. Goldobin's still a depth player, so he's not exactly ready for 3rd line minutes, but overall we'd say otherwise. I mean, maybe if we put him down on the 4th line, I'll do a little better here. Brandon Sutter. So I'm definitely looking at either Beagle, Sutter, or Garnier to trade here. -9, -5. Well, Brandon Sutter's doing fairly decent. I don't know if I want to trade him just yet. Maybe we'll put him up a line. Give him the extra ice time. So see 2 wins there against 2 Canadian teams, and then we lose against Toronto though. Toronto with big old John Tavares there. So Arizona wins, and then Florida we get a loss. A loss against the Oilers. Okay, so January's looking a little better. So now Alexander Edler seems to be injured here. We're gonna have to make a trade here, I think. Because we do have enough lefties at the moment. No, this is perfect time. I think this is a perfect time in my opinion, at least. I mean, it's the off weekend, so yeah, let's trade him. Okay, so I found a trade that might work out. So we're gonna try to get Jeremy Watt and a 2nd round pick from the San Jose Sharks here for Alexander Edler. Kind of hope this goes through. That'd be kind of ideal at the moment. Now his stats aren't exact here, as you can tell. It's a little transparent. It says 77 overall, but he probably won't be exactly 77 overall. But nonetheless, I think Jeremy Watt is a really good prospect, so we're gonna want to maybe grab this guy and give him some NHL time, whether he's NHL ready or not. Says he's a depth defenseman, so I imagine he should be ready for some NHL minutes here, but you never know, I guess. I'm going to try to see if the trade goes through, but if it doesn't, then I'll probably put something else in and take away some salary. Maybe that's actually a good idea. We do have some salary cap, so let's try 2 million, I guess. It's 40%. See if this goes through. Nope. So let's try to give up our 4th. And they accepted. Wow. Okay, so that worked out. We're gonna see if Jeremy Waugh is actually ready for that ice time there. So scratch. There's Jeremy Waugh. I guess we gotta see him play, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna play him. Take out Antoine Roussel. And then we're gonna switch Stetcher up there and put Jeremy Waugh right there. Special teams, is he offensive? He's an offensive defenseman. His offense awareness is currently 82 overall, is what it says. Kind of want to give him too much ice time just yet. We're gonna throw him on just for like top 6 minutes with Michael Desoto right there on the third pairing. And then we're actually gonna wait to trade one of these centermen here. Jay Beagle is currently 80 overall, so I mean we can slot him out and even put him over Sam Gagner there. Okay, let's simulate up to February the 1st. So it's getting pretty close to trade deadline here. We're basically going to be stopping the upload pretty soon here. And I don't know how many more of these I could make before I leave, but I'm going to try to make as much of these as I can. We're going to go ahead and we're going to stop at February 1st. Is that a good date? Well, that's a good date, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and simulate up to there. And we'll see how Jeremy Waugh does in for us. So 4-3 win. And then a 6-1 loss. We win in Washington there. Win against Chicago. So Elias Pettersson is ready. We're going to go ahead and do best lines down here quickly. Okay, we're starting to see some winning here. So far so good. Okay, so incoming trade offer. I like this new screen. It just pops up out of nowhere. It's a little better than the last screen, I guess. Also loads up a lot faster in my opinion. But that could just be me at the moment. So to Vancouver we would get a 2nd round pick and we would send off a 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then Alex Biega. Is this worth it? I don't know about this one. I'm going to decline that. And we're just going to continue the simulation for now. So a couple more losses once again. I guess it would have been a good idea to play Eric Branson, but I mean, I think we're going to have to buy out his contract here pretty soon because he's not even playing the NHL at the moment. We're not using him at the moment, at least. His overall is not that good in my opinion. Edit my trade block, let's see. Nelson, I can agree with that. Biega, not so much. I don't think I'm going to be giving him up, to be honest. I mean, we can, but Dylan DeMello, 25 years of age, medium, top 6. He shoots right. I'm claiming this guy. I don't see why not. Let's claim him. And now we can trade off Alex Biega for sure. But we're basically near trade deadline here. It's getting fairly close to the end of this upload. Not too sure what we can look at. We can look at the point production so far. So far, Bo Horvat's leading the point production. He has 48 points. He's a -9. Besser is sadly a -17, but he has 47 points, so he's not doing too bad this year, other than in his own end there. Sam Gagner is -15, but he has 40 points. Louis Eriksson 37 points. Berchi 35. Goldman has 30 points, and he's on the 4th line currently. So no one's really a plus here other than Brandon Sutter. So he's definitely trade bait. Stetcher. +2 for Stetcher. -11 for Delzato. It's a really weird year. Definitely a really weird year for Vancouver. Especially in this simulation so far. So I don't know, tell me what you think about that trade. Like, so Jeremy Ware actually isn't exactly ready for ice time up here. I'm probably gonna have to switch him out here. Can we send him back down there? Let's see. He's not waiver eligible, so we could definitely send him back down. He's only minor top 4 defenseman at the moment, so we definitely use some ice time down in the AHL. We're gonna send him down for the rest of the season, but we're not gonna be similar until next upload anyways, so we're gonna switch him for Dylan DeMello here. Let's do that. There you go, that should be good. So I definitely want to trade one of these centers, and I'm gonna leave it basically up to you guys, and if no one comments, then I'll just do it myself, I guess. But we can either trade Beagle, we can trade Gagne, or we can trade Sutter. But definitely one of the centermen do have to go. And I'd imagine we'd bring Elias Pettersson up. He's a depth forward at the moment, but I mean, he's 79 overall. I think he's definitely ready to make that jump there. Can use him for the rest of the season to help with his growth. But yeah, so far so good. We're looking pretty much like a rebuilding team, kind of like I thought we would. Not too much else I want to discuss really. Well, I guess so far this is what the draft kind of looks like. Wow, look at this guy. 43 assists, 30 goals, so he has 73 points in 48 games played. Similar style, Wayne Gretzky. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Jean Beliveau, wow. A good leader, respected in the locker room, is very loyal. That's really good comparison, wow. Similar style, Patrick Kane. Kapu Kaku. Currently doesn't have very much points though. Teemu Solane. Marcus Naslin. Oh, what does that say? So this is what the draft class is kind of looking like at the moment. I don't know if there's anything I can do to like make most of these look a little more accurate. That would definitely help me out, because I'm not too familiar with the scouting and that in this game yet. So any feedback would help out really, to be honest. Nolan Foote, Milan Lucic. I don't know about that one. But yeah, so far that's how it's gonna be, I guess. So if we go to propose trade, wait, what? Whoops, I passed trade deadline, I guess. I didn't even realize that. That's pretty hilarious. I guess so we're past trade deadline. We gotta go with the team that we have here. I didn't even realize that. Well, at least we got rid of Alexander Edler there. we can definitely. Is he waiver? He's waiver eligible, so snap. I don't know. I don't mind Elias Pettis actually staying down here for the whole year, but I mean, like, he's doing really good down here. Would be a good idea to bring him up near the end of the season at least. I think. I don't know. But let me know what you guys think. Who should I bring up and who should I like send down and whatnot? Leave your feedback. I guess I did kind of pass trade deadline without even knowing. That's really my bad. But anyways, we're trying to get the franchise potential guy here in the draft, who's named Baldwin, Warren Baldwin. That's the target at the moment. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the upload, leave your feedback, leave a like, and see you guys in the next upload. Peace out, dudes.